So I've been lucky enough to learn a lot about lead generation over the course of my career, and I wanted to put a little video together on the Cliff Notes. Any top producing agent will tell you that you need more than one source to be consistent over the years. You really need 4, 5, 6, 7 sources, the more the better, to be consistent. Why? Because a market changes, and one source that's working in one market might not in another, right? And then vice versa. Something may pick up that wasn't before. If you're doing these things consistently over time, they will work out. Now, there are some of these lead sources that are productive and others that simply just don't produce the results. And unfortunately, I've tried them all. And I've tried them all at what I consider a high level. I put a lot of energy and effort and money, unfortunately, into a lot of them. What I've learned, the biggest takeaway, the free ones produce astronomical better results than the ones that cost money. The ones that cost money have very good marketing tools that target us agents and really suck us in. So let's take a look at them. I have 2 categories, and bear with me. I know you probably can't see them, but this will be easier for me to share with you. Category 1, we have the productive ones on this side versus unproductive. So let's start with the unproductive. Mailers. These are extremely expensive. You just don't send out one mail campaign into a target area or even a big area, even if you've created this mastermind marketing letter or pamphlet, and get results. The results come when you do this consistently over time. And even then, the results are small. This is extremely expensive to send out consistently and get a message across. And the results are minimal. The people that you will get some phone calls here and there if you do this consistently. They're not all ready to move. Some are, like anything else, but it's not this home run idea. Also, there's a lot of mail that people get each day. So this is a lot of times just sifting through the junk mail categories which people get and then gets thrown in the garbage. So can it work? Yes, very minimal results, extreme expense. Okay, not really a good idea to run a business. 2, online leads. Now, I just wrote a couple up here. There's Zillow, there's Dave Ramsey, there's Realtor.com, OpCity, and a plethora of more. These online leads have very good marketing. They call you all the time. They call us agents all the time, selling their services and how great they are and why their leads are better than everybody else's leads. They're all the same. I've tried them all. I've invested a lot of money. Again, you can get a deal in here or there. One of the most challenging things is these companies are selling leads to multiple agents at once. So they're getting a barrage of calls from agents, all trying to sell and share the information. And it's a very, very competitive space, which is okay. We're in a competitive business. But when you look at how much money you're paying for those leads, and that these are buyer leads, they are a good percentage of these leads are buyer leads. There are not many agents I know right now that are looking for more buyers. If you're looking for more buyers, you're probably just starting the business, because any seasoned agent has a backlog of buyers because of all the multiple offer situations and the low inventory. So again, can you get a deal from these online lead sources? Sure. The percentages are low. It's very competitive. It's very expensive. And they're buyer leads, which is, I think if you can choose, most of us would agree, if we can choose listing or buyer, we would choose listing. Next, Google. Okay. Google likes to sell their Google ads and their CEO branding. We get constant barrage of people calling us about this stuff. Can someone find you on Google? Sure. So again, it's very competitive. And if you're paying for any leads on Google, a lot of them might trickle in as rental leads. Can you get a deal here? Yes. This is actually not as expensive as some of the other online sources, but there's not a big return here at all. You certainly can't run a business off of Google Leads. Next, social media. Again, I know the cost is not great on, say, Google, on social media, but you don't get a big return. Again, with social media, if you are consistent with it and you have these great marketing gurus helping you, so be it. You may produce some results over time with that, but it's very slow moving. And in my opinion, the results are very minimal and leads you're getting directly from social media. And the last one is CRMs. Like everyone wants to know what the best CRM is. And I don't want to say it has no place at all. Certainly it's a good tool to keep in touch with your database and past clients. But if your idea of generating business is to simply put leads or a database in a CRM and put it on some automatic program and then never touch and never do anything else and just wait for the business to come in, it will absolutely not work. This can be an effective accessory piece to some of our productive measures we're going to talk about in a minute. Just like social media can be an effective accessory piece. Am I on social media? Absolutely. Is that where my business comes from? Absolutely not. It's an accessory piece to what I'm going to get into now, which is the productive ways for us to spend our time, spend our lead gen. The number one thing you can do, the number one lead source that works in any market is your database. This is people you know, this is your past clients, provided you actually keep in touch with them the right way at a high level, and provided you give them value. This does not mean just posting on social media. This does not mean just sending them random emails. It means actually calling them and having a human relationship with them. If you're able to do this and keep in touch with people and make a connection with your database, there is no better lead source than that. It works in any market. You could actually run a business on just this, run a profitable real estate business if you did it correctly. For those of you that are looking to really grow the business and make it, recession-proof, market-proof, you want to add some other layers to that. The next best profitable thing you can do, lead source, is expired for sale by owners. Different markets, they're stronger than others. But even in the past couple of years, they've still been a good lead source for agents that are willing to work on their skills and learn the listing process at a high level. You can't be average here because it is super competitive, right? There's lots of agents who think they're going to do this, they try, and then they stop. They try, and then they stop. Because of this, you get this constant influx of people that are coming in and out. And much like the online buyer leads, this is one of the most competitive sources. However, the stakes are much higher because if you win an expired or FSBO, you're winning a listing. And you have a lot more leverage for your business with a listing than you do winning an online buyer lead that you're paying thousands of dollars a month for, right? This is something you can win essentially for free if you're willing to train your skills. So look, that's a really good source depending on market. Just listed, just sold calls. Again, depending on the market, these are great calls to make right now. The competition is minuscule on these. Most agents, again, are not willing to learn the skills necessary to make these calls and are not willing to stick with it long enough to see the results and put themselves in an environment that can kind of support them through that process. Just listed, just sold calls are huge. You can target your neighborhood. You can target your price range. The competition's low. And guess what you're also finding? Listings. All your energy and effort is going into a listing and not a buyer lead. Again, the leverage is high. It's worth the time it takes. And you're putting very little money into these calls. You could also door knock these things, by the way, which add a different layer to it as well and are also very effective. Last couple I'll talk about in terms of productive, absentee owners, people that have two homes, they don't have anywhere to move to, right? A market like this, that's that's a good thing. That's one less thing someone has to worry about. They don't have to worry about finding another home, and worrying about making their home subject to finding suitable housing, right? Again, this one's a little more competitive. You deal with a lot of agents. Also, sometimes investors call these and mail these, so it's a little more competitive. If you're willing to train your skills, these can be a good source, again, of listings. And when you learn how to do it correctly, it's relatively free. Last one, open house. I have this on the bottom. I almost want to put this in the middle, because when you do this right, certainly it can be productive. You tend to attract more buyers, but you will get some listings too, because some of the neighbors will just be curious. But if your skills are weak, it's going to be hard to convert any of these, nurture any of these leads into sales. These are usually longer term nurturing process at the open house. And I'll also say they're only productive on a listing in the beginning that's priced well, that's going to get a lot of foot traffic. This will let you kind of meet a lot of people from the neighborhood and potential buyers if it's a good listing. If it's an overpriced listing, a listing that's not going to sell, don't waste your time with an open house. No one's going to come. It's a complete waste of time. And I'll also say, if you are going to do an open house, leverage that by calling the neighborhood or door knocking the neighborhood and let everybody know about the open house. Use it as leverage for some local calls, and it's going to be a much more productive use of your time. I've never been a big fan of open houses. Again, they're more in the middle to me. But these top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I am a big fan of. I've literally built my business on it. I'm grateful to have had mentors to help me build up my skills. And I unfortunately can't stop building up my skills and stop learning, because it is a competitive environment. So if you're willing to learn and you want to know what the best use of your time and money is, stay on this side. This side is what we call the easy button. This is what a lot of agents want to chase. It's expensive. It's hard to be profitable this way. And oftentimes it's competitive. If you have any questions on this, I'm always happy to help dive into this a little further. I know this is a long one, but honestly, if I was a new agent, a video like this to me is priceless. It can save you, I can't even, years of time and money can be saved. Now, that's if you believe me. If you're skeptical, and I was skeptical, right? I was looking for it's human nature. You want to find the easy button. I know. Hope I can help. Hope this helps save you some money and time. Make it a great day.